Well, according to this short video from Steve over at Israeli News Live, Iran now has three nuclear weapons, three nuclear bombs, he says, of the uranium type. Well, maybe they do. Maybe they're now just starting to leak that information out because it's not mainstream yet, obviously. And I can't find the source for his information anywhere online right now. It's probably a personal source of his, like he's talked about before. However, we have talked about this on this channel before many times. And Netanyahu has cried about nuclear weapons in Iran since 1992. And gosh, that's the same year that Iran actually, or allegedly, I should say, bought nuclear weapons or warheads from Kazakhstan, like I talked about in my video back in 2025. This was, well, about a year ago now, June of 2025. So this is a video compilation of Bibi crying about how Iran must be prevented from getting a nuclear weapon. And in fact, they already probably had some. In fact, if you look at this story from the LA Times from 1992, there it is. Iran Kazakhstan nuclear deal reported May 1st, 1992. It said here that Iran has obtained at least two nuclear warheads that had been reported missing from Kazakhstan, according to the European newspaper at the time. So this article, which cites a secret report from the Russian Foreign Intelligence Agency, again raises questions about whether these successors to the Soviet Union will be able to control their most dangerous weapons. So, according to this, mainstream news at the time still is, they had them. And remember, guys, Israel needed to complain about this. Netanyahu had to cry about this all these years to keep the money flowing from the United States for their military support and for their support in general. Because obviously, Israel would not exist right now if it weren't for all the support from the United States. Physically, I mean. So there you have it. Do they have three new nuclear warheads? Quite possibly. And as Steve says in this short video, he talks about how they want to, how are they going to present this to the world? That's the conundrum they face now. How do they present this? Do they just come right out and say, hey, we've got nuclear weapons, so you better watch out? Or do they actually use one, is what Steve is asking in this video, and show the world that way? Well, then that would leave two left, according to this math. But who knows how many they actually have at this point? But this has all been coordinated to lead us to the time that we're in right now, the lead up to the final battle of Armageddon. And, it's just a matter of time. It's slowly unfolding. But that's what's been going on. We've got this slow roll to Armageddon. And then we have this. This story's been making the rounds for the last couple of days now, as Israeli face more condemnation for tormenting flotilla seized heroes, they're saying. Well, I don't know if they're heroes or not, but because you never know how these things are staged or set up. But like it says here, and that Israel has not wanted these videos to get out, but they got out nonetheless. It says only Israel can kidnap, abuse, and torture foreign citizens and get away with it. Imagine this was anyone else in the world. Let's take a look.
Free Palestine!
Imagine if Israelis were treated like this in countries where they're not liked. Imagine. Imagine the outrage in the media. Look at that. Unreal. There we go. And then we had rigged elections or primaries again here the other night. Megyn Kelly exposes massive voting anomalies in Thomas Massey's primary. Gee, imagine that. It says here, Megyn Kelly exposes massive voting anomalies in Thomas Massey's primary. She reveals a suspicious surge of 104,000 votes in a non-presidential year compared to just 52,000 previously. The establishment spent a staggering $32 million to completely destroy him. Total corruption indeed. Indeed. And they were bragging, actually, AIPAC was, about their win the other night. Let's go take a look at that, see if I can find that article. Here's one of them, AIPAC, that's one of Israel's main lobbies here in America, says it was proud to help pro-Israel Republicans win races in Georgia and Kentucky. And so just basically coming right out and saying it. There it is. Ed Ryan's victory in Kentucky and Clay Fuller's win in Georgia ensures two outspoken pro-Israel voices are positioned to fill seats previously held by outspoken detractors Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Our community was proud to help pro-Israel candidates win this race or win these races. Wow. And there it is from the general AIPAC brags that it bought last night's election, meaning Tuesday night's, and is confident the majority of Americans will not do anything about it. And that's the truth. From 9/11, the Israelis perpetrated 9/11. Okay. And for those of you who still think it was Arabs in caves in Afghanistan, wow. I can't believe you're still living in that delusion. But anyway, remember the dancing Israelis after 9/11 as they watched the towers fall? That was not a wives' tale, as some of you said. It's documented. You just need to go look it up. Look up the dancing Israelis on 9/11 because they knew it was coming. They were the ones that put the stage explosives inside of the towers. So they fell down in their own footprints. Planes don't do that. They never have. So just saying, they've done that. And now, of course, the American taxpayers are supporting, whether they want to or not, they're supporting the genocide in Gaza, supplying weapons and materials to Israel to fight that war. So it just keeps going on and on. And now they steal elections. And once again, like they say, Americans will not do anything about it. They just keep stealing election after election. They've been rigged for a long time, but now it's just blatant and in our faces. It has been, especially since 2020, right? And elections have always been more selection than actual election. They give you a couple of idiots they throw up on the stage and make you believe that there's a lot of difference between the two when there isn't. And once they get in office, you find out there really is no difference because nothing really changes. And in fact, it gets worse. And this is no different again. They rigged it in favor of the Israeli candidates, which they usually do anyway. Now they're just coming right out and telling you. It's unreal, but there it is. So, rigged elections. Wow. Megyn Kelly exposes Thomas Massey. I mean, Megyn Kelly's controlled as well. I get that. Same with Tucker Carlson. Limited hangouts is what they call it. And then, last but not least, we have this story that I was just starting to go through today. As globalist financial guru and Trump ally Larry Fink is scared to death that Americans will wake up, rise up, and start sabotaging AI data centers. I'm surprised it hasn't started already. Fink admits he fears that ordinary Americans will use inexpensive drones to attack and destroy multi-billion-dollar AI data centers. Yeah, Iran has showed us how fragile they are and how much damage can be done with just some simple drones. So absolutely, this could happen. And so Americans are starting to wake up to the fact that thousands of AI data centers being built across all 50 states are not just for the purpose of competing with China for industrial and military supremacy, as President Trump and his big tech cohorts keep saying. As myself and others have been reporting, the bigger picture is to create enough AI computing power to implement a surveillance state, a 24/7 control grid similar to what they have in China, to keep people in line under the thumb of their oppressors. Yeah, it's going to have pre-crime and all kinds of neat stuff installed in it. This control grid will include a biometric digital ID for every citizen, along with digital programmable stablecoins or some other digital version of currency to eventually replace the dying U.S. fiat currency. All human movement and all financial transactions, no matter how big or small, will be tracked in real time. Free speech will continue to be phased out of existence once people realize that saying, writing, or posting facts or commentary outside of the mainstream will get your bank account turned off and your digital money restricted. Yeah, that's exactly what we're headed for. In fact, here in Washington State, you can't, after June something, I think it's June 11th or something like that, some arbitrary date in June, you won't be able to buy fishing licenses or pay for your license fees for your car or your driver's license or anything else here in Washington State with cash. They say it's too cost prohibitive and too much burden on the system to use cash. and to round up or round down because of the penny shortage. It would cost tens of thousands of dollars to do that. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but they're using anything they can find as an excuse or a scapegoat to switch over to digital money so they can control your money or restrict it or just completely shut it off. So this is also, in my opinion, why the government is expanding federal prison space at breakneck speed. Indeed, they are. Detention centers, they're going to put people in warehouses because they know Americans are waking up and that a segment of them will fight back as they lose their jobs and livelihoods to AI. Yeah, people are getting to the point where they have nothing to lose, and that's very dangerous. And they know that. Even those who don't lose their jobs will find themselves priced out of their homes as they can't afford the cost of electricity, water, rising insurance, and property taxes. AI will suck up most of the electric power and fresh water, leaving us scrambling to afford what little is left over. I'm just going to leave it there. I'll let you read the rest on your own. This is from Leo's newsletter on Substack. I highly recommend it. So, but there you go, guys. We are fighting a war on many different fronts. Spiritual, first and foremost. Physical as well, as you can see here. Right? And then, of course, I consider the AI war, the beast system war, spiritual and physical both. Spiritual first and physical second, because this is just, it's stressing us out to the max and draining us of our energy, literally, both from, as the power grid and from us as individuals, spiritually. So prayed up and prepped up at all times, guys, but don't be afraid of them. God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So don't be afraid of these people. What can man do to me? Right? When God is on my side, what can man do to me? What am I fearful of? Don't fear man, who can only kill your body, but fear God, who can throw both your body and soul into hell. Okay? Make sure you're fearing the right thing, the right person. Wow. It's just unreal how fast this is all unfolding. And everybody is just kind of blind to it and just going through the motions. And we could talk about so many other things as well. But there's just no time. I mean, I could sit here all day long and do a 24-hour broadcast and never fit everything in. So I will do my best and keep my eyes on things like I always do. And that'll be it for this particular episode. Don't forget, don'tspeaknews.com is home base for all that we do. If you would like to subscribe to the website and be notified every time I put up a new posting, there's a box to do so at the bottom of every article. There's also a box that'll pop up once while you're here. And then there's also a way to sign up right under here, subscribe, contact Johnny. If you want to get in touch with me, this is the tab you need to click on. Some of you have said you want to get in touch with me for an interview. This is how you would do that. If you want to interview me, this is where you would contact me. Don't Speak News at Proton Mail. And then right here is the sign up box. Just type in your email here, click on subscribe. And then every time I put up a new posting, you'll be notified. And then for channel support, we are listener supported only. You would click on this tab and all the ways to support us are here. These are also at the bottom of every article as well. Rumble, BitChute, Telegram, the places to find us are right here. And it's all the different places you can find us around the internet. And that's it because we have been kicked off of everywhere else. So that will be it for now. God bless. Take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.